The Republican conspiracy theory on the Libya attacks is crumbling. And that's not stopping Republicans from their witch hunt against Susan Rice. They say the UN ambassador isn't qualified for a promotion to Secretary of State because of her statements about the Benghazi attacks, even though we know she was just going by the information she got from intelligence officials. But Republicans don't want facts to get in the way.
We will do whatever's necessary to block the nomination. This president and this administration has either been guilty of colossal incompetence or engaged in a cover-up.
I don't trust her. And the reason I don't trust her is because I think she knew better, and if she didn't know better, she shouldn't be the voice of America.
And now 97 House Republicans who have zero say over cabinet nominations are opposing Rice's possible nomination. They sent a letter to the White House saying her credibility has been wounded. They keep changing their story in this made-up conspiracy theory. I want to know why they're in such a frenzy over Susan Rice. Joining me now is Democratic Congressman James Clyburn from South Carolina. He's the third highest ranking Democrat in the House. Congressman, thank you for being here tonight, first of all.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Good to see you.
Now, good to see you. Some of your Republican colleagues claim Ambassador Rice is, quote, incompetent. What is that based on?
Well, it's based on some series of, I would call it, attempts to derail the career of one of the most outstanding ambassadors we've ever had in this country. This young lady has been a part of government and the governmental process for more than 20 years. I worked with her very closely. When I was chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, she was handling the Africa desk at the Department of State. Mm-hmm. She's well seasoned in the Clinton administration. She was in think tanks for 8 years after that. She's now been the ambassador to the United Nations for 4 years, almost 20 years, PhD, Rhodes Scholar, and I'm very proud of her because her roots are right here in South Carolina. I knew her father, Emmett Rice. And to call a person with those kind of credentials incompetent is something that is insulting to me, because that harkens back to the campaign. You remember in the campaign, Governor Sununu calling the president incompetent, right, lazy. That's the kind of code words they use that upsets a lot of people like me.
Well, let me push you on that code word stuff. When you look at her background, some of which you named, 2009 ambassador to the UN, 2004 foreign policy advisor to John Kerry, 93 to 2001 an official in the Clinton administration, a Rhodes Scholar, went to Stanford, a PhD from Oxford University. Yet when you hear conservatives talk about her being incompetent and unqualified, look at these conservative statements and see how you put that up against her resume.
What she said was absolutely and completely misleading, either inadvertently, in which case it's complete incompetence.
I don't think she deserves to be promoted. There are a lot of qualified people in this country the president could pick.
Susan Rice should have known better, and if she didn't know better, she's not qualified. If this select committee, if appointed, clears her of any wrongdoing, besides not being very bright, because it was obvious that this was not a, quote, flash mob.
Not very bright, incompetent, shouldn't be promoted, not qualified.
All code words. These words I've been hearing all my life. I would hire one of them, a qualified one. This lady is as qualified as anybody that's ever served in government. And I think that it's time for these people to stop this foolishness. Now, I have to give Senator McCain credit. He's now put out a statement that he now knows that Susan Rice was not responsible for the information that she read. He now knows where it came from. He's now disappointed that nobody told him where it came from. Well, I think it's time for him to apologize. He called on her doing a Sunday talk show to apologize, and if she were to apologize, that he might rethink his position. Now that he has the facts, maybe it's time for him to apologize for trying to besmirch the character of this young lady. It is time for Senator McCain to just do what any honorable person will do and says that I was wrong and I take back all that I ever said about this.
And he had called on her last Sunday to apologize. Now he is saying that he found out different information, and we'll wait and see if he apologizes.
Well, I think it'll be a long wait because this man is not in this for the facts at all. He is still upset over the 2008 election. He is still having a battle with the president who defeated him in 2008 and anybody that's been associated with that campaign in 2008. In fact, it was during that year that I really got to know Susan like I knew her father, because she worked in South Carolina during the 2008 campaign and reminded me back at that time that her roots were here in this state. She's a very competent woman. She ought to be nominated. I have no idea what the president is going to do, but if he were to ask me, I'll say, please nominate her and do it as soon as you're sworn in for your second term.
Congressman James Clyburn, thank you for your time tonight, and have a great Thanksgiving to you and the family.
Same to you, my man. Thank you so much.
Ahead, 2 weeks after President Obama won the state of Wisconsin, Scott Walker wants to change the voting rules. Is he kidding? I have something to say about this next.